Hi guys, and welcome back to another Starcraft Remastered replay for you, as once again we have a very interesting engagement here in between the two pro players from the South Korean scene this time, as we have spawned here in the upper left part. It is it is in the yellow only star, but this is of course the AK from BISU. Of course know who this player is, one of the best if not the best Protoss player in his prime, and his opponent from the Neox clan, a very known clan in the South Korean scene from Starcraft. It is Neox abuse, but this is of course the AK from Beast, one of the best Zergs there was also out there. I believe this game has been played very recently, around the year 2022-2023, as the spawning here on a 4 spawning location map. You already see very early scout, I believe. Yes indeed, it should be an early scout here for BISU, as the overlord from Beast is also heading, luckily for him, into the right direction. You can see of course a very long replay, very long game. We have here also a small hint into the thumbnail. We're going to be seeing lots and lots of units here from BISU versus the Zerg. It is going to be enough, however, to defeat this Zerg pro. We are about to find out, as luckily also here for BISU, his probe is making it towards the main from the Zerg, and we actually see a spawning pool here for the Zerg. So no intentions for him to go for a fast expansion, create overlord into spawning pool. We might see an early aggression here by the Zerg player BISU with this one pylon. I believe he's very likely going to create a gap here. He's going to create some buildings here just to not allow the Zerg to move forward. So his probe is here into this location, dealing some damage, of course being annoying as much as he can. And yeah, the spawning pool is about to finish. Let's see if indeed Beast is going to try to move forward. He sees the forge and he knows the timing, of course. So some Zerglings could make it here forward, some Zerglings could deal some damage towards even the pylon and to unpower everything, as BISU is now also going for his expansion. We can see the worker count, production tab is here in the upper left part in case I'm missing something. And as you can see, the Zerg is indeed going for 3 Zerglings here. So at the same time he's also going for his expansion, so we might see him attack, but the cannon should of course finish in time for BISU. However, this gap is still open, so the Zerglings could just run by here, and if they're lucky they would make it here forward towards the expansion point. And yeah, here they are. BISU is of course going to try to buy some time, get some damage. Let's see, the probe is dropping more and more of that HP, but of course the Zerg will focus his Zerglings towards the main from BISU. And yeah, there it is. Some probes I believe need to be pulled here by BISU. There's a good gateway, and luckily for him the cannon is finished. So yeah, in come the Zerglings, but the floodgates are pretty much shut. However, some Zerglings do make it here forward, 3 of them, actually only 2 remaining, so the probes will have to fight them off. So it's 2 Zerglings versus all of the probes here. I believe BISU should be fine, but of course the Zerglings will be annoying. They will deal some damage, some mining time could be lost, as at the same time we see of course the Zerg go for another expansion. Another probe has been killed, yet another one might fall very soon. So yeah, good control here for Beast with his Zerglings, but yeah, pretty soon it should of course be shut down. There we have the expansion. 3 probes actually have been pulled by BISU, as Beast is still roaming around. No tier 2 yet for him, only the expansion there, and yet another probe has been killed. However, one Zerglings is now being left here for Beast. Let's have a look at the entrance. We see cybernetics core being made, 2 cannons here for BISU. One Zergling still roaming around, but BISU passed into his reaction, already dealing some damage. So of course this will be shut down very soon. And let's check the Zerg very quick. What exactly is he going to be doing? Some Zerglings here into defending, no Zealots yet here for BISU. We see that tier 2, so we might see some Mutalisk or some Lurkers very soon here for the Zerg, as we close towards the 5-minute mark here into this game. So quite an interesting game. Luckily here for BISU, not all of those Zerglings made it forward. It would have been really deadly, and even one probe might get killed, but BISU very smart, brings those probes next to the cannon, so the Zergling will very soon, or should very soon, fall, finally get surrounded and killed. So a small aggression here by the Zerg, but in the end BISU with a nice defense. However, still losing 2 more drones there, probes, sorry, as we see the Zerg now finally preparing his macro game. He's just droning up as much as he can, BISU is just turtling up now. He's just at the same time also preparing his macro game. Should be a Stargate here, nice hidden Stargate, just to abuse and just to attack those overlords. You can also see that the Zerg has more map awareness, more map control. All of those Zerglings are spread out on the map. And we see the first unit here for BISU. It is a Zealot moving out, as we also see Weapons 1 being upgraded here for the air forces from BISU. So yeah, BISU giving much importance towards his upgrade. And the first Corsair will also be produced very soon. We also see a Spire. So the Spire could of course be used for some Scourges to fend off the Corsairs. However, in my opinion, Hydros would have been a much better decision, as yeah, the game keeps on going. We see a lone Zealot actually makes it here forward. So no defenses yet. Beast has to bring back some of his Zerglings and one drone might fall. Second drone also taking quite some damage. And yeah, BISU tries of course to hide this Zealot into a good position, but in the end he will be cleared of course. However, one Zerglings has been killed, one drone also almost getting killed here, so in the end a good trade here for both players. We also see legs very early being upgraded here for the Protoss. At the same time we also see flyer carapace for the Zerg. So let's see what the Corsair can do here. Some Scourges are being produced and the Overlord just sits here around, so this of course will indicate to BISU that the first Scourges will spawn very next to him, so this is why he's just pulling back. And let's see, he's going for yet another hatchery into this location. So very soon we might see a transition for him from going into either mass Mutalisk or mass Zerglings with Hydros. Could be also very strong. Could even be some Overlords with speed and drops into this location. So let's see what the Zerg is going to go for as we're closing in towards the 10-minute mark. So quite an interesting game we have here. Good control by both players. And yeah, the Scourge might fall very soon. So nice control here by BISU. Good scouting here by the Zerg. Like I told you, he has good map control. As yeah, BISU is just roaming around. I believe he's not yet knowing about this expansion into this location. We also see the Zerg going very heavily into those up defenses here, Sunkens and even a Hydros stand. So very soon we see a transition into those Hydros, and we even see a more of a nice sim city here for the Zerg. This is going into more Sunkens and a nice wall of here with a hatchery and a evolution chamber, and we even have yet another Sunken there. So good defenses here for the Zerg as BISU comes forward with speed, but there's 3 almost done Sunkens here, so he has no chance now. Finally BISU decides to go for the other point where there are some Zerglings here, 2 Sunkens which are nicely hidden here underneath those Overlords, and yet another Sunken I believe is being prepared here for the Zerg. But this gap could be very good for BISU as he's moving forward. 2 Sunkens there, but very hard to attack. A nice block here by the Zerg. So great sim city execution here for the Zerg. However, some drones have to be pulled in the end. 2 Zealots, almost 2 indeed, have been killed here, so very hard to move forward. A very interesting build order here for the Zerg, fending off the first attacks from BISU as the Corsairs are still roaming around the map, still searching for some Overlords, and I believe BISU is very likely going to attack into this location. He needs to hurry up, however, not to miss the first Hydros here. He's checking the other expansion point, and this would be a very good point into attacking here. There's only one Spore here. At the same time we see a counter attack by the Zerg, so the Zerg of course knows the timing from BISU for his expansion from the Protoss, and there's not that much here being left to defend, so the Nexus is very likely going to get cancelled here by BISU. So good job by the Zerg, leaving some Zerglings to fend off the Zealots, at the same time buying some time, killing even the probe here. So very smart move. BISU has to pull another probe here to build yet another expansion. So hard game here for BISU. His game is not really working out. Sadly his Zealots couldn't make it here forward. At the same time he has lost some time here with his expansion, so very hard game for him. We actually see already an Archon, I guess, to fend off any Mutalisk in case there are Mutalisk for the Zerg. And BISU once again tries to attack, but there's 3 Zerglings here, they're very important, and I believe some drones will be pulled once again, but they're just BISU just roaming around. I believe he now wants to pretty much defend his expansion, and interesting enough 3 drones are here into this location, so perhaps a misclick or a misrally here by Beast, of course it happens. I believe he just misread that with a hatchery. It happens, of course, in a pro level game as we have passed the 10-minute mark. So yeah, still anyone's game, of course. Both are still preparing their macro game. Let's see what the answer from the Zerg is going to be against so many Protoss units from the Protoss from BISU here. Yeah, we're about to find out. We see in the thumbnail, of course, there's going to be Zealots, Archons, Reavers, which are very rarely seen, and even Psionic Storm is of course going to be used. Psionic Storm a must for any Protoss versus the Zerg, but is it going to be enough? Yeah, BISU now better map control, and we even see some Mutalisk, so it might be mass Mutalisk. However, this could be very hard against Archons and Psionic Storm. Let's see indeed if this is what Beast is going for, and Beast also nicely defending his other expansion point, so his macro game is going to kick in very soon. And this can be very deadly if there's going to be many lurkers underground with splash damage, and later on even some Ultralisk might be an option here for the Zerg. So yeah, right now it's just Mutalisk. I believe he just wants to harass the mineral line from Beast, but there are cannons out. However, this place is not that well defended, and even this place is here not defended, so this is exactly why BISU is reacting immediately with a cannon, but the many Mutalisk, however, are closing in here forward, so the Zerg with a surprise here. What was meant to be Zerglings with Hydrosk is now actually mass Mutalisk, and BISU taking some casualties. He has only 54 workers against a massive amount of 68, so yeah, the Scourges are here to deal damage towards the Corsairs. Cannons now getting good reactions, and Dragoons are also on the ground, so nice mix here, great engagement here in between the two pro players. Finally the Zerg with a very surprising strategy here, going actually with mass air versus mass Corsair. Pretty much a suicide tactic here by him, but in the end I believe there should be a transition towards Hydrisk and towards perhaps Lurkers. Yeah, there are the first Hydras out. Might see even speed being upgraded. Look at all of those upgrades here from the Zerg. Speed for the Hydras and so on. Yeah, the Mutalisk are still roaming around BISU with one cannon here. Some Corsairs are here to defend, and now BISU also deciding to move out. But of course, against this one Archon, the Mutalisk will stand no chance, so the Zerg has to regroup, he has to retreat and bring of course more units. We can see the production tab. Actually, the workers tab is really high for the Zerg. 71 workers already here for him, and we saw there a good engagement here. Nice storm by BISU, and all of those Scourges have fallen. How many Corsairs are being left? 6 Corsairs still for BISU as is moving forward now into this location. There are however nice spread of Lurkers, and the Sim City is just perfect here for the Zerg, so I really like that. In case you're a Zerg versus a Protoss, this Zerg is actually showing us how important it is to build those, to make those buildings very close to each other, and to create a wall of and a small gate here, and not allow the Protoss to make his way forward into the mineral line. So it's very important here for any Zerg, and now he's even adding those Lurkers and immediately spreading those Lurkers of course against the High Templars and against all of those units. So do we have a Nidus Swarm? No, we don't have a Nidus connection, so BISU could be successful here into attacking. A good storm by him, second also great storm. The Lurkers are still alive however, so it will be very hard, even suicidal, for BISU to attack here, as there's 4 Sunkens in the back. So remember, this base is actually also defending this base here as well. No defenses here as BISU is just roaming around left and right. Really hard for him. I believe this is exactly why he's deciding to go for those Reavers. And now the first Observer is actually out for him, so yeah, he's moving forward. Lurkers are in position as the attack is commencing here. A good storm by him. Zealots are in the front, another great storm. The Dragoons are also doing good damage. The Zerg of course holds his ground with his Zerglings, with his Lurkers. No Hydras here, so this could be a good possibility here for BISU to move forward to deal damage. But those Sunkens in the back are nicely spreaded, dealing more and more damage. And yeah, the wall-off is just perfect here, like I told you. Very hard for BISU. He has no vision towards those Sunkens in the back. Just deals a little bit of damage, but has to retreat once again, has to regroup in the middle of the map. Let's just check the upgrades. 2 weapons upgrades, and let's just check the Zerg. 1 carapace still, so we're closing in towards the 20-minute mark. Very hard game here for BISU. Is not really able to deal any damage towards the economy from the Zerg. Perhaps some dropship harassment, some shuttle harassment could be a possibility for him, as the Archon is very likely going to get micro back, so good micro here by BISU. as he's bringing more and more zealots. So this could be an attempt by him to bust here forward. The zealots are in the front. There could be some psionic storms, but yet the stun guns just deal so much damage, and we have a comeback here from the Zerg from behind, dealing more and more damage. But yeah, of course, he has to retreat. At the same time, he's interfering here with the reinforcements from BISU, moving forward with his lurkers, just dealing more and more splash damage towards the reinforcements from BISU, just trying to split BISU's troops. And at the same time, he's also preparing a counter-attack, perhaps towards BISU's expansion. BISU also has 2 more expansions here at this position, as he's now once again moving forward. The Archon is in the front, soaking lots and lots of damage. The Zealots are now finally moving forward, but the real damage dealers will of course be the High Templars. However, he's just getting surrounded now, so he needs a miracle here. Good storms here, massive amounts of storms by BISU, just pretty much melting everything. The Zerg has all of those lurkers, the Hydros have fallen, but still the defenses are up, and sadly here for BISU is going to lose so much here from his units. So pretty good storms by him, clearing so much of the Zerg. But look at the economy here from the Zerg, just with those 66 workers looking very strong, and BISU has to regroup, he has to remake his units, has to make up something. Finally we do see a shuttle, so BISU knows time is running against him, as he has to of course inflict damage towards the economy from the Zerg, and we even see more and more lurkers being produced. Yeah, he's moving out. Perhaps some other units, like I told you, the reverse will be perfect, and carriers could be also a nice surprise for him. Is he going for massive amounts of carriers, as we see the shuttle move forward with the Zealots straight for the main? I believe he just wants to snipe the hive. Let's see if he's going to be successful, as some Zerglings are roaming around. Let's have a look at this one shuttle. A good overload here, giving him good vision, immediately detects the drop. But yeah, the Zerg has to hurry up. His Zerglings will of course fall very quickly here. The Zealots still in position. No reaction yet. Finally, there it is. Is he going for the economy or straight for the hive? 1 drone, even 2 drones will very likely fall. And I believe now he's heading straight for the spire. So this is the option here for BISU. Upgraded Zealots with 2 weapons upgrades, taking down that spire very quickly. Nice job by him. So yeah, he's also going for his 3 weapons upgrades. At the same time, in the middle of the map, BISU tries to of course not to allow the Zerg to expand all over the map. Still, however, the economy from the Zerg with 4 more workers looking so strong here versus BISU, and still so much of that minerals and gas being left for him. Yeah, BISU also closing in towards being maxed out, but yeah, he has to be careful against those lurkers being clumped up together. And let's see what the next target is going to be here from BISU. Is going into this other expansion point. It's well defended with some lurkers on the ground. There is an observer in the air, and BISU might take hold of it, but at the same time the reinforcements this time with Dark Swarm are moving forward just to intercept the units from BISU. So good job here by the Zerg. But yeah, BISU should be able to, however, more and more reinforcements are coming in forward for the Zerg. So really hard stuff here for BISU. This is pretty much getting surrounded, so the Zerg does hold, and this is very important for him, not allowing BISU to make his game. And yeah, great hold here for the Zerg, coming in from all directions from his expansions here. Yeah, making life really hard for BISU. So very hard game here for the Protoss player, as just keeps on sending more and more of those waves of Zealots, and we should have some Reavers very soon. Yes, indeed, there is the Reaver with that splash damage, and the Corsairs will get some good connections here against those overlords. So yeah, still a hard game, and hold on, we actually see a counter-attack here for the Zerg with Dark Swarm. There is, however, Psionic Storm in the direction, but yeah, BISU has to abort his mission into attacking, and he has to actually come back into defending here against the Zerglings in Dark Swarm and against those lurkers on the ground. So yeah, finally the Zerg decides to show his presence, of course, as well, and the best defense is of course the attack. Yeah, BISU should hold, but this expansion here is of course very important. BISU was not able to snipe it. It's not mining yet, but still it hasn't been killed, as the Zerg once again tries with a counterattack. I believe his next target is going to be here, this base, as BISU is now forced back. However, his army looks really strong. Let's see his upgrades. Not going for any shield or armor. There it is, actually. More energy for the Templars, of course, much needed for those psionic storms. And the Zerg still has a great defense with Hydras, with Sunkens, pretty much inviting here the Protoss to attack. And yeah, the Reavers looks like wants to be the difference here for BISU. Reavers with a shuttle with speed, Zealots in the front exactly where they should be, and yeah, now the Reavers will be dropped and the splash damage will continue. However, we have a great plague here being casted. Reavers now getting straight forwards, the Zealots are also forward in the front, soaking up so much damage, but at the same time the Reavers not really attacking here, so BISU not paying attention. Finally his Reavers are now moving forward, but a little bit too late as there will be much needed splash damage by them. And yeah, still some Zealots are alive, but the reinforcements are pouring forward here for the Zerg. It's massive amounts of Zerglings. The Reavers take some damage, the shuttle is still alive. Good, very good High Templar Storms. Now Swarm being answered here by Zerg versus the Protoss. So good job here for both players, lots and lots of damage left and right. But in the end, once again, the Zerg holds, and not that many units, actually not that many buildings have been lost here for the Zerg. It's a really hard game here for BISU. Still has some units around. He has to regroup, and at the same time the Zerg decides to once again expand into this location. So yeah, once again a good expansion here for the Zerg, and we saw how all of those units poured forward for him, as those Zerglings will of course just cast minerals, and this is very good for the Zerg as he can of course afford this. So very good game sense here by him. And I believe BISU is going to very likely indeed secure his other expansion point into this location. So expansion attempt versus expansion attempt here. Still a very good game here by the Zerg. The Swarm is continuing to move forward. Massive amounts of Zealots, sorry, of Hydras with Zerglings like a choo-choo train on the map. You can see them pour forward, and the Zerg is closing in towards being maxed out, as he might get a good flank here against those High Templars. So of course the newly established base from the BISU is going to be the next attack point here for the Zerg, but he needs to be careful, he needs those lurkers very soon. BISU reacting with the Archons in the front. No Reaver sadly for him, a good Storm dealing good splash damage, but yeah, you can see the reinforcements just pulling here forward. Great Plague, another Plague here as slowly but steadily the Zerg is now moving forward against the newly established base from BISU. So yeah, still in one's game, but BISU now on the defense all of a sudden. Luckily for him, his cannons have been finished. Archons are in the front, but they will be immediately getting taken out. The lurkers now in range of the cannons, dealing so much splash damage, and all of a sudden all of those cannons will also fall here, so more and more is getting thrown here out for the Zerg, and BISU sadly for him is losing this one expansion, a very important expansion point for him. All of those Zerglings, and this point will also get lost very soon. So yeah, the Zerg Swarm is just moving forward relentlessly, as yeah, so much control here for the Zerg, and I believe this could be his next attempt into attacking this base. Is slowly but steadily getting mined out. The two main bases are also pretty much mined out here for BISU. Yeah, BISU tries a counter attack, but a nice block here with a lurker egg on the ramp. So great stuff here by the Zerg. Good Plague here, nice stuff by the Zerg. Great control by BISU, but yeah, against Plague is really hard. So yeah, the map, as you can see it on the mini-map, it's pretty much in control now from the Zerg. He just keeps on expanding. He knows that if he will expand into these three locations, the game should of course be his, and perhaps he's going to try a drop with some overlords into this location with massive amounts of Zerglings with Defilers. So it looks like the Zerg is very confident, and yeah, this will be very likely another move out here by BISU, by the Protoss. Is it going to be enough? Of course, it just looks like he's going to divert into massive amounts of Reavers with shuttles. Could this be the answer? And High Templar Storm versus so much Zerg here. Yeah, we're about to find out, as some Corsairs, no, it's just Dark Templars here, dealing some damage, pretty good damage. There is vision however here, and another Dark Templar has been killed here, so this one will fall eventually also if he's getting in range, but until then he's just dealing more and more damage. Finally he has been taken out. At the same time we see now army move out here by BISU, and another Plague has been casted here for the Archons. Those Reavers really need to be protected, so BISU knows this. I'm guessing he might try to go for another shuttle very soon, and yeah, the Zerg pretty much in control once again of this expansion point. BISU is moving forward, so once again the Zerg is inviting him to move out. Not that many shuttles, so the Reaver actually have to walk, so very short walk for them. And yeah, still anyone's game. You can see both players almost being maxed out, but a much better position here for the Zerg if you ask me, as BISU is just having two bases from which he's mining, and I believe the Zerg is very likely going to secure this base here. And see, BISU is moving out. What is going to be his target? Should be, of course, this newly established base here, but I believe he's going to try to go straight for the main here from the Zerg, it looks like. So he's going straight for the hatcheries into the main. Lots and lots of Archons, lots and lots of Zerglings, sorry, Zealots. Let's see, the Reavers into a good position. Reaver balls dealing so much damage here. The High Templars are still waiting for their energy, so more and more is getting thrown out. A nice plague once again being casted, some damage is being dealt. Reavers, reinforcements are moving forward. This one Reaver, however, has been taken out. Still, the Reavers are nicely getting protected. BISU knows this here, of course, be careful not for some units to come in from the rear. This one Reaver a little bit exposed here. Great storm, great splash damage here, but you can see the reinforcements from the back coming in forward. So pretty soon BISU once again is going to get surrounded. Is it going to be enough for him, as the Zealots are slowly but steadily falling? Great psionic storm. The Reavers are now being protected by an Archon, by High Temple storms. Not that many Zealots are being left alive. Still BISU holds, and just so much splash damage is being taken here by the Zerg. As you can see, both players losing heavy casualties, more of the Zerg. So very nice job here by BISU, but he's not having so many Zealots being left. And remember, the economy is much stronger for the Zerg. However, BISU just keeps on pushing forward. The Defiler is here in position to hold the ground, even blocking the entrance here. Now finally some Zerglings are moving forward, so bad position here for BISU. He's not making it forward. He's taking damage out of the Sunken, and the Reavers also stuck here in the back as they're getting slowly but steadily surrounded. BISU with some good micro, but the Reavers are really slow. Great psionic storm once again. Zealots are right there into dealing also some damage, but sadly for BISU he has lost two Reavers, very important Reavers, and don't see his shuttle yet. So still, once again, nice block here with a egg in the front. And yeah, the Archon now just soaks up so much damage, but still the Sunken is not really being touched, as the Reaver now has to tank the damage with the Zealots in the front. And yeah, very hard game for BISU indeed. He's dealing more and more damage. He has more supply than the Zerg. Finally the Sunkens have fallen, and this should be of course the base for BISU, as he is moving more and more forward. At the same time he's also moving with some units into this location, dealing some damage here, wanting to deal damage with some Zealots. We can see this base finally dropping here. At the same time he's moving out, but there are some reinforcements for the Zerg to defend this. Yeah, so nice move. Finally a small victory here for BISU, being able to finally take out this newly established base. You can see all the minerals, but yeah, the Zerg is still mining from here and this location here as well. Interesting enough, he's not deciding to go for expansion here. There is a Zergling immediately reacting against the expansion, but it will be cleared very soon. So yeah, BISU now on the defense. He knows he has to hold the newly established base. He's pretty much getting mined out here, not taking the center of the map, yeah, and just roaming around with his units. Let's see the answer from the Zerg. What exactly is he going to be doing? Looks like he's going to be a lurker, regroup with many more lurkers, moving forward with some Zerglings, getting some good connections. Same time, so many Archons on the ground, but I don't see an observer here for BISU, so he needs to be careful. However, so many Zealots for him as well. Is he going to commit? We're about to find out, but the Zerg looks like he's also counter-attacking here with some drops, with some nice overload drop placement here, as at the same time the lurkers are now in control of this base. So all of a sudden BISU is being left with only one base. Actually this one is not even mining, so BISU is still on the defense. He has to make a new base very fast, but the Zerg is here with his lurkers. So BISU decides perhaps to attack, or is he so many Archons on the ground? Perhaps he's going to try some long distance mining. It's really crucial, and he's actually bringing some probes here forward. So desperate move here by BISU with his probes, immediately taking splash damage. So the lurkers are there in control of this base, and yeah, BISU tries of course to cast Psionic Stone to kill all of those lurkers, but yeah, in the end some lurkers are still being left alive. And how can BISU now come back into this game? He's not literally not mining, he has no more income. Finally he's moving forward. He wants of course that base, taking some splash damage, lots and lots of damage, but in the end he is going to hold. And at the same time a miss rally here for the Zerg. Luckily here for BISU, he's being able to kill some of those Hydralisks. And yeah, BISU still long distance mining here. The Zerg looks pretty strong, still has to rebuild this base here into this location. And yeah, BISU is moving forward, but there is a lurker on the high ground. There are Sunkens, or actually there are Sunkens being made Reavers also here, but a great plague being casted once again by the Zerg with some great plagues. And now let's see if BISU is going to commit. Very hard game for him to attack into this one ramp. Still long distance mining here for him. High Templars are getting pretty much intercepted here by a small group of those Hydras. And yes, Sunken has been remade with some Zerglings in the front. So yeah, BISU not being able to push here forward. So many Archons, so much splash damage. But is it going to be enough as the ramp might get hold for some lurkers? Yes indeed, there's the lurker egg. BISU with those Archons in the front with the High Templar Storms, but the lurkers are still in the back, and now the Sunkens have been finished, so this base here should be okay here for the Zerg, as at the same time we see more and more of those probes long distance mining, and the Zerg decides to intercept those units. And if he's going to kill so many probes, I don't know if BISU is going to be able to come back here with his unit. So very hard game for him. But the upper hand is indeed here for the Zerg as BISU tries a desperate attack here. Are there some lurkers? There are no lurkers, and BISU finally decides that he has lost his game. If there would have been some lurkers here, he knew of course it would have been over. All of his long distance mining wouldn't have paid off. In the end, BISU losing this game. So very nice game here for the Zerg, especially with his SimCity build order. I believe his SimCity pretty much has saved this game, not allowing BISU to make his game, not allowing those zealots to make it for. Let's check the stats really quick. Yeah, the SimCity I believe was the main answer here for the Zerg. BISU not being able to penetrate forward, not being able to kill the economy from the Zerg, and the ramps also worked nicely here for the Zerg, blocking the ramp with the lurker egg. And yeah, the lurkers nicely getting spreaded. In the end, not even the Reavers. At one point BISU was more high into units versus his opponent, but in the end the lurkers with that spread and also plague played a very important role for this win. So Beast with a nice game here from the Neox clan. Congratulations to him against BISU. Nice game. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be seeing you of course in the next replays. This is Tommy signing out.